Hello creeps! Andy here, and the holidays are upon us, so I thought that I would make a video of some of my favorite reading stuff that I have, or book related stuff that I have. I don't know, maybe to help people who are either looking for gifts for people who love books, or maybe to add to your own list, or maybe you see this after and maybe it can help with a birthday. I don't know. I'm just trying to be helpful here. None of these I bought specifically for this video. This is just stuff that I have, I use, I love. Some of them are really little items, some of them are a bit more expensive. It's kind of all over the place. I actually recorded a horror version of this first, and I was going to post that, but I think I'm going to post this one first and then the horror one after. So I'll probably be repeating a little bit of this in that video, so I apologize. But anyways, let's just kind of jump into it. And yeah, hopefully some of this will be helpful. I will link as much as I can down below. Just know that the Amazon links are affiliate links, which means that I will make a small percentage of anything that you purchase after clicking that link within 24 hours. I said this in that other video, but I don't know if a lot of people know this. If you click any affiliate Amazon link, you'll be able to tell because they're usually pretty small. And then if you click the link and you look, it'll say, I think it says their name in it. But anyways, if you click any affiliate links from Amazon and you buy anything within 24 hours, they will get a percentage of anything that you buy. It's a very small percentage, but just keep that in mind. But if you don't feel comfortable using affiliate links, no problem. Just Google whatever it is I'm telling you and it'll pop up the same way. So anyways, let's get to it. These aren't going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to be throwing stuff at you. Let's start with my reading journal. I love this thing so much. So the first half of the reading journal is you just list the books that you've read this year and then rank them, which I love. And I've never kept an actual ranking score of books. You have books to read in the front, which I also really love that. You also have this, which is one of my favorite things. I haven't filled out the last few months, but this is just to keep track of your reading. And this is something that motivates me to read. I'm gonna do a whole video on kind of like my tips and tricks to read more, but part of this journal really does help with that. And in the beginning, you get to fill out a little reading goal. Here's my reading goal. I wanted to read 53 books this year. And I haven't even filled any of this out yet, but I ended up reading more than that. I'm almost at 100, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, so they have plenty of them for each year. And then you get these, so you get to write your list of books that you've read this year. And I could probably end up using this for another year because there are quite a few slots. It has favorite books, but you also list your favorite books over here. Here's mine. These are my favorite books that I've read this year. And then it has pages for did not finish and why. And I've told you guys in a previous video that I don't DNF books, that I will stick it through and read it. Even if it takes me 6 months, I'm gonna finish that book. And then it has books borrowed and books lent out, which I guess is pretty cool if you're lending books to a bunch of people. And then we have this here, which I think is actually really cool. And I think that if you didn't read 100 books a year, if you just read like 20 or 30, this would be really helpful because you give a little bit more detail. Why did you like the book? What was the most interesting thing? What did you take away? Favorite quotes? And so I think this is really cool, but because I read so much, I really don't utilize this the way that I should. There's quite a bit actually. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to do this next year and fill out a little bit more information about books. And that way I utilize this journal a little bit more. Actually, there's a ton in here. So I'm gonna do that for next year because this reading journal will last me at least 2 years. And I read 100 books this year. So that's pretty impressive. I'll link this specific one down below, but I don't know that you necessarily need a specific reading journal. I'm sure you can also just find lists like I showed you in here and either download them, make them yourself, print them out, and just have it your own. I just like having a physical, like hard journal. So that is one of my favorite things that I use all the time, and it keeps track of everything that I read, and it's very helpful. This next thing I just bought kind of recently, but I am obsessed with it. So my husband was making fun of me because it's a book cover. It goes like this. So let me grab the book that I'm reading now. I'm currently reading The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. So you just kind of slip it on in here. There's already tattoo marks in it. And obviously this won't fit every single book, so this won't be for everything, but I do think that it would fit like most typical sized books. And this is what she looks like. So you can close her up like this, and then it looks like this. And the reason I bought this, well, I bought this for two reasons. One, I don't like carrying a purse most of the time. If I'm just running to grab something, we bring our dogs with us everywhere. So usually I'm waiting in the car with the dogs, and my husband will run in and grab whatever it is that we need. So usually all I'm taking around town is a book. And I don't like bringing a purse, but I always have my phone and stuff with me. So I thought that this would be really neat because it has a pocket for a phone. And then it also has a pocket over here for like highlighter and a pen. So that is one reason why I bought it. The second reason I bought it was because I'm not a big fan of germs. I know this might sound ridiculous to some people, I get it, but when I go stay at hotels or Airbnbs, it really grosses me out to just have my book laying in some stranger's bed and then I bring it home and it's in my own bed. It just grosses me out. So I thought that this would be really neat for on airplanes or staying in Airbnbs, and you can just take this off and wash it afterwards. And I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe not the reason most people would use it. Maybe people aren't as weird as I am, but whatever. It also has a built-in bookmark, which I thought was pretty neat. Like I said, the dimensions aren't going to fit every single book, but I do think that this is helpful for some people. For example, I got a comment the other day that said, oh, with this extreme horror book, is there any other cover? Because I can't read that at work. And I thought, oh my gosh, this would be great for people who love reading smut or extreme horror and things that are fine to read. I mean, don't let anyone ever shame you into what you're reading. Don't that's so lame if people talk badly about what you're reading. It's so ridiculous. But I do understand if you're at work, you probably shouldn't be reading some book with like Fabio naked on the front or whatever. So I get that. And I do think that there is probably a market for people that would find this really helpful. And so I thought that I would share it with you because so far I'm enjoying it. It's been nice to just kind of have a little book with a pocket to kind of bring with you wherever you go. And the next thing that I use all the time is actually a book stand. Let me grab it. So this is the specific one that I use, but again, any of these will work. This one just flips up and it holds your book. I use this every single day of my life. I'm obsessed with this thing. I read a lot. My neck hurts a lot when I'm reading. And so it's really nice to just have a little stand. It does work better with paperback books, which I don't have a ton of because you could just open them and it stays open and it's fantastic. But I still absolutely love it. Sometimes I even travel with this if I'm not going too far. I particularly like this one because it can fold up like this and you can travel with it. I also like this one because it does have pockets to hold my highlighters and chapstick or whatever else I need on the sides. But this, yeah, I mean, anybody needs a reading pillow. You may not even realize you need a reading pillow. Maybe some people don't like them, I don't know. But even my husband steals this. He doesn't read, but he does take this to use it on his phone, with his phone, all the time. And he loves it too. And I just think that it's a fantastic invention. I don't like the really hard, like wood ones. They look nice, but I much prefer something like this. Another kind of book related thing that I have that people, I think some people would enjoy, is I have these mugs. I also have an Edgar Allan Poe one that is just MIA. I have no idea where that one went, but this one is a cup of Shakespearean insults, and it's a really well-made mug. They're kind of expensive. This is by the Philosopher's Guide. You can honestly even get this on Amazon by the same website, but they're really well made, I think, and they're pretty big mugs, and it just has a bunch of Shakespearean insults. Let me see if it has my favorite on here. It's just like lump of foul deformity, just all eyes and no sight. I don't know if it has my favorite on here, but it still has a lot of good ones. Yeah, this is just freaking funny. Along the same line as this, I have Shakespearean insult bandages as well. These are pretty freaking funny too. I think that they're both adorable. For Shakespeare lovers out there, I thought that that was pretty neat. The Edgar Allan Poe one is just quotes about Edgar Allan Poe. Love that mug. I use it all the time. It's the same as that one, same company, same everything. So still really great mug. In fact, my husband broke it and I rebought it. That's how much I love that mug. Oh, one thing I want to show you. Okay, I think I've showed this before on my channel, but these are actually books that I folded to look like numbers, and they were the numbers on the tables at my wedding. So what you do is you go to Etsy and you download the numbers and you do it yourself. It's so cool and it's super cheap and it's really easy. It's time consuming, but it's super easy. They just show you where you mark the page and then you fold it. That's all it is. It's honestly very, very easy, but it's a really cute gift. And I think that there's a lot of these on Etsy that you can actually download and make yourself. And I think that this would be a really nice, like, sentimental gift to somebody. I bought these books at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree Yeah, Dollar Tree. And I just painted the front cover black and then folded them, and those were my book table numbers for my wedding, and now they're up in my house and I get to look at them all the time, and I think it would be a really lovely gift. You can also buy these on Etsy as well, where people make them and send them to you, but honestly it's super easy, and if you could just download the stencil, I would do that. So I wanted to share that because I thought that that was just a really cute thing. Next, let's move on to some bookmarks that I like and highlighters and things like that. These are my Golden Girl ones. The ones with the magnets are my absolute favorite. So that's what most of these are. These are the same things, but they're little monsters. The traditional, you know, mummy and Dracula and all that. And same with these. These are just page markers. The problem with these is even these ones, they're more novelty items. They're just paper, and so they have little magnets on the inside, but the paper gets really frayed and they don't last a whole lot, but they're not super expensive or anything. You can find ones like these that are magnets all the way that will definitely last longer, so I have some of those. But my problem with these is that they're arrows, and so you would think it would be easy to find your page, but they're the same color. So I was trying to find ones that were different, and I came across these ones. These are just from Amazon, and they're just slightly different colors. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to tell on camera because they are pretty similar, but then you turn them and you can tell that they're different colors. Let me try to find one that's maybe a little bit more obvious. Maybe you can tell with this one. Like, one's a darker shade of the other one. And so these I thought would be really neat. One, the magnets all the way down, so they're not gonna fray as easy as the other ones are. I love the dual colors because then I know where my page is, and I'm actually using them right now, and they're huge. And so this is what it looks like here, but even if you were gonna save your exact page or your exact line in a book, it would be so much easier. You would know exactly where you stopped. So I really like these. I think that they're really neat, and they have quickly become one of my favorites. These are the most recent bookmarks that I've purchased, which is why I've only used one, because they all inevitably disappear, but they come in a pack of 8. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. That's a lot of bookmarks. So I really like these. I think that these are neat. I also have ones from Etsy that one of you guys sent me. These are really cool. They're VHS ones. This is Hannibal, and this one is The Silence of the Lambs. So these are really cute as well. I also have these, which I think are from Amazon too, and they're just like crappy. They're not crappy. They're just like nothing special, just like plasticky with flowers glued onto them or whatever, but I can't use these because my cat will absolutely eat these. And I also have these bloody ones. These I actually handed out. They were in like a little goodie bag thing at my wedding for all my bridesmaids and stuff, but it's just a little bloody bookmark, and the same thing, it's just a little plastic whatever, but they're still like cute little fun bookmarks. Next up, let's talk about highlighters, because if you are reading, you're probably highlighting your favorite quotes. And my favorite highlighters are just the original ones. I do not like the little glass window that you can see through. Don't like these. I don't like these bare ones, mostly because my dog eats them. But the ones that are my favorite are just these plain Sharpie ones. These are my favorite. They're simple, they're easy, but my friends, I just came across these on Amazon, and I just started using these. I'm using the green one right now, but these are pastel, and it's just the little things that make me so happy in life. Like, look at this beautiful peachy pastel highlighter. This is so cool. Anything just a little bit different and out of the ordinary, I'm all for. They have this really nice little grip on them, and they're just Bic ones, and yeah, super freaking cute. And then I also use those Sharpie brands as well. This I thought I would just mention because it's one of my favorite things. I bought this at my used bookstore, but you can find these on Etsy or wherever, and they have roses that are made from the pages of specific books. So if you want like one from Dracula, then you can find that, and they're really cute. They are pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted these in my wedding until I saw how much they were, and I'm like, oh, I could not pay to put them in my bouquet. That's crazy. But if you just buy one of them for a gift, I think that they're really cute, and this sits on my bookshelf, and it's one of my favorite things when my cat's not trying to eat it. This was in my horror video as well. There's going to be one or two overlapping things in here, but this is a little handmade Necronomicon book, and they are expensive, I'm not gonna lie. They're like between $100 and $300, but they are handmade and they're all original and unique. And this one we used for people to sign at our wedding. And so we have everybody's well wishes for our wedding in here. I absolutely love this. It was a gift from my husband. It's one of my favorite books. You guys always see it. It's just sitting, you know, back here in all of my videos. And so yeah, something like this I think would be awesome for, you know, somebody who obviously likes spookier type of stuff, but that's probably most of you who are watching my videos. You need a cozy reading blanket. It's mandatory. This one is mine. Again, I will be showing this in my horror video. It's just so freaking soft. As long as it's a soft blanket, it's a reading blanket. But this is my little horror ghost face one. It says scary movies and chill at the bottom. It's really, really soft. I'll leave this one specifically, but honestly, if you just, any cozy reading blanket I think is well loved. There's also this big hoodie thing that I got as well. It has nothing to do with reading specifically. I'll put up a picture here, but this thing is amazing when it's freezing inside, but you want to keep the windows open because you want to listen to the rain while you're reading, and you just want to cuddle up with a blanket on the couch, and you're wearing one of these and you're super warm and cozy. This is my favorite thing ever. It's also really nice to walk the dog in, so that might be a good gift too for a reader. There's also things like Audible subscriptions or Amazon Unlimited subscriptions. So if they like audiobooks or they're a big fan of Amazon's selection, that might be something to suggest as well. And then you can also get, like, you know, Barnes & Noble or Amazon gift cards for specific books. But if we're talking about specific books, if they're into like classics, I highly recommend these Barnes & Noble edition books. They have a ton of them. So for example, this one's Jane Eyre. Come on, this thing is so beautiful, and I promise you, if you know someone that they're a reader and they love Jane Eyre, it's one of their favorite books, and you're like, well, why would I buy it for her again? She wants it again. I can promise you. She, he, they all want it again, because this is absolutely beautiful. These editions are fantastic. They really are. There's a quote on the back. They're so beautiful. I love these Barnes & Noble books, and they have a bunch of them. I have, you know, the Odyssey, Dracula, Frankenstein. Look at this Frankenstein one. Come on. It's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, I absolutely love these, so I will always recommend these. I also have like H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe. If they're into horror, there's also these classic horror tales. Like this one is so cool. I got this at like a no, it was like a Secret Santa at one of a job that I had 100 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is really awesome. So I was super stoked to get this. So yeah, highly recommend any sort of special or a different edition type of book for book lovers. You can never have too many of the same, and especially if you have one that you read, you highlight, you know, you mess up, and then you have one that's like pristine, beautiful condition. It's always a good idea for me, I think, personally. And the last thing I have here is for you extreme horror lovers. I have worn this a few times and I've gotten questions on where it is. This is Reading with Meg's merch, and it says introverted but willing to discuss extreme horror. It's a fantastic jacket. Everybody needs it if you're into horror, extreme horror. Honestly, a little nervous to wear it outside the house because I don't want people coming up to me and talking to me about extreme horror, because that's how introverted I am. But inside the house for a walk with the dogs, I absolutely love it. It's super cozy and it's so cute. It's just one of those original things that makes you happy when you see it, because you're like, oh man, when I was younger they did not have stuff like that. It's just really neat, and I'm just so happy that stuff like this exists, because now my house is filled with horror and books and all sorts of stuff. So I hope that helped you in some way. Let me know of any reading type stuff that you guys utilize all the time. Leave it down below, and maybe that can help other people as well, going through the comments and seeing other things that they can buy for readers. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a blanket, a hoodie, a special edition of a book that they love, cool bookmarks, highlighters. It's all necessary for us book obsessed folk. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. My next video will be the horror video, and then after that we'll get back to some other horror stuff. So I will see you soon with another horror video. Bye guys.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.